Alright, welcome everyone to another video today, and I'm gonna be reacting, I will say talking, but I'm actually gonna be reacting and talking, I guess, about the latest newest Duet live stream. I did not see it live, unfortunately, because I actually forgot what I was doing. I was supposed to be off on that day, but I forgot what I was doing there. I think I was like playing Dying Light or something. But yeah, we're gonna be reacting to this live stream. We're gonna see what they have to offer. From what I've known, this game is gonna be going toe to toe and competing with instead of the gacha community, like the gacha genre, they're gonna be competing with the Warframe. And I heard they took a lot of good things from Warframe and implemented in their own games. I just hope they actually take the good things. Because so far, I've heard that they take the good things, but I want to see if they actually take the good things, right? Because Warframe is a whole different genre than just gacha, and I really hope they don't miss the mark, because they really, like, it looks really interesting, and I really wanted to try it. I'm certainly going to be playing it. Or at least give it a shot, and like, if the game is interesting enough story-wise, gameplay-wise, and everything, right? The gameplay loop and everything, I've already committed that I'm gonna be playing it for at least like a whole year. So at least until the first anniversary. So we'll have to see if this live stream is gonna like cement and solidify my intention of playing the game. The song is very classical, right? Like this is like very like kind of like European like folk tale, like fairy tale. It's like watching like a Disney animation or something, like the old ones, right? Like the Cinderella, or like something that has like had to do with like the Western like the old Western era. Like, I don't know, like something like Mickey Mouse, or like Mickey, or like even like Tom and Jerry kind of vibe. Wait. Why is the screen like this? Oh, it's supposed to be like this.
Okay, consider it done.
Bro, why is she in English? If you're gonna if you the MC is on Chinese, why don't you use Chinese? 你得懂吗? I don't
Looks
even.
like I'll need to slip in through a secret passage.
Is this like the hackers trying to like get leaks out, basically? Dang. Dang, bro. That feels so low budget and like so like amateur-ish. Like, no offense to like the cosplayer, but like, you would think a company like them would be able to like, I don't know, do something more like I'm just gonna say it outright. Like this is like kind of like watching like a porn level of acting.
What? Where am I?
Hey, you! 你可真挺了呀!
Oh my god. They're speaking between English and Chinese. I know this is not even part of the game, but like I don't know why they're doing this. Is it because the cosplayer does not speak Chinese? But if so, like, why don't they just hire like a Chinese cosplayer? And also like the fact that like they use the word, like this whole scenery, it's kind of like watching like Skyrim already. Like, hey you finally wake.
Deca Bear? How's the latest build coming along? Show me now.
啊，好好好，OK OK OK，有话好说，你就是因为这个嘛，我们都改好了，走，带你看一下，相信不会辜负你们期待的。Come
The
on，
death is called
better
Deca
not.
Bear.
那我们边走边聊吧。
Alright, spit it out. How's the build coming along?
我们经过几次的测试呢，其实已经改了不少东西了，然后所以我们继续在调优我们的 bug，修复我们的表现，还有继续提升我们的品质。所以这里面做的一切
I'll
呢，
make
都
this
是
a bit
为了
louder so
能够
people can
更
hear.
好的
Listen.
保证我们公测的效果，给大家一个更好的一个表现跟体验。
Sounds like you guys are pretty well prepared. How about a sneak peek?
那就来我们认识一下我们之前的老朋友小段吧。哎，喂，哇，吓我一跳。
Hello Zika，我是运作小段。
Alright, I'm on a mission this time, so I got a tough question for you. Why make such drastic changes to the monetization so close to the release date? Aren't you worried it'll eat up too much time?
商业化上，我们确实做了非常大的调整，因为我们希望二重螺旋能够给全球玩家体验一款高质量并且是长线运营的游戏。那商业化的设计必然得服务于这个游戏的体验，而
I like this. I like this point. Even though even though like technically speaking, this is like a marketing speak. I think this is kind of like the essence of it. Monetization should support the experience, not drag it down. Paywalling characters is technically speaking dragging it down. And I think even Wuthering Wave does this, right? I forgot to close Wuthering Wave, so that's why there's like music on it on the background the whole time. Sorry guys. But yeah, I feel like that's a really good point. And that's like kind of like the point that I always stress out when it comes to gacha games. Like that's one of the thing I cannot like truly fully love a gacha game no matter what. Even something like Wuthering Wave, which I really do like love, right? It like I love it, but it'll never be a 10 out of 10 because of that gacha monetization, right? Because strictly speaking, it's really you're paywalling gameplay at that point, right? And not only do you have to paywall the gameplay in order to like it is like like a lot of people always say like, oh, gacha is just a monetization, right? Like it, is just like a part of the game. Like no, like the problem is that like monetization is the part of the game that affects the entirety of the game. For example, right? Because of like the whole, because of the way they designed because the way gacha system is designed, that you ended up having to limit a lot of things. For example, limit the amount of premium currency you can get from the events, from exploring the world. For example, you cannot make a gacha game and let the player kind of like grind it, like kind of like Warframe, which is why I think like a lot of people brought Warframe into comparison. Is because like if you trying to design a gacha game, you cannot allow the players to like endlessly grind the premium currency, because like this gacha system will like, especially if it's like related to weapon and characters, it's gonna affect like players' power and like kind of like the attractiveness of like the banners themselves, right? If you can grind them, then man, they will lose a lot of sales. I can tell you that much. And some people will still swipe, but like I feel like a lot of people would like swipe less if they can just grind the premium currency out. I probably would be one of that person. And also because of that, not only do they have to limit the amount of currency you can get, they also have to limit the progression of your game, right? For example, like a lot of the times when you're playing this type of games, killing around mobs in the game, like they usually comes with like stamina system, first of all, to limit the amount of things you can do and rewards you can get per day. And also they usually limit the amount of like drops that you can, like, outside of the stamina system, they also limit the open world itself. For example, like Wuthering Wave or Genshin, right? You can get materials from the monsters, but the monsters in the open world, they don't really respawn until the next day. So if you wipe the whole map for it, you can get a lot of resources, I'm sure. Like, that's a lot of grinding. But like after that, like, you're gonna have to wait for the next day either way. Like, at some point, you're gonna reach a limit that is like set by them, like, which is like, it's different from like something like if you're playing like an actual, like, a fully featured like game, like, for example, like I want to say like something like Dying Light, or like an actual like single player experience that just goes like, yeah, there's a cooldown, but like it doesn't really take you a whole 24 hours for it to come true. You just gotta come back like 15 minutes later and they'll be there for you to kill again, like the enemies. And you cannot do that on like a live service, like a gacha game at least, or like even in MMOs. Like, for example, right, you can kill the enemy, come back later, and they'll be there. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to wait until tomorrow, which is not a thing that kind of like they do in gacha games. And that's kind of that's also why I kind of don't like it. Like, alluding to my earlier point of like, when I was talking about gacha game, I always went like, I like being able to play the games when I want to play it. So like, I'm one of those people that like sometimes I have 10 hours on the weekend, for example, or like on my day off, and on my normal day I only have an hour or two. Like, and like gacha games is like one of those games that are designed to be played like an hour a day or like half an hour a day, and that's it. It's really good for people that are like busy all the time, but like if you actually have like if you have an actual day off that you actually want to spend on like playing the game, gacha game is usually the worst game to play, because then you'll only be able to like get the most out of like your time in the first half an hour or an hour. And that is the case because of the way the game is being monetized. So that's like coming back to like this word, is that like the monetization should support the experience and not drag it down. I think the way they're saying it is that like they wanted to make sure that like people can play the game whenever they wanted to, which I hope that's what they mean.
不是说去影响玩家体验嘛，所以我们决定删掉了角色卡池、武器卡池。
Yeah. Cut the banners, weapon banners. See, when they cut these banners, they also have to they also remove the system, because now there's no reason for you to limit these things.
并且也删掉体育系统。当然这个决定是我们基于对当前游戏市场充分的调研之后决定的。以及团队包括大雄老师嘛，也是希望就是能够建立
more sustainable progression system. And I think that's really fair, because like I think one of the problem is that like so I think the problem is less apparent on something like Wuthering Wave, which has like way less character compared like something like Genshin Impact or like even Honkai Star. Is that like once you reach a certain point, right, you have so many characters that you have to maintain at the same time, but you have but the amount of stamina that you have is still the same. So unless you keep up constantly, you will fall behind by a lot. Every day that you miss on not playing the game, right, is a big gap for you to fall. That's also why a lot of people that starts playing a gacha game from day one versus someone that plays like after the first anniversary, for example, is gonna have like such a huge gap. It's because like the progression are like, strictly speaking, gated in a lot of like its part, so that like people who invested early and sticks around all the time will be way further, and like there's like so far, and like there's just no way for you to catch up to them unless they stop playing. Like there's just no way, because every way that like every part of the game is being time gated or like wallet gated, right? So for example, if I start playing on day one and someone started playing a month after, that person, the person that started a month after already had like a 30 days deficiency of like experience compared to me who played since day one, and that will never change unless I took a month off. That's the only way for them to catch up to where I'm at Otherwise, the gap will always stay the same because every step of the progression is being capped by them, like by the developer of the game. So like something like this, I think it's much more fairer in a way that like if you are in front of me right now because you have because every day you have more free time every day. For example, you have 2 hours of play time instead of me who only have like 5 minutes, for example, right? But then on the weekend I would have 10 hours off. Then I can possibly catch up to you instead of being like, oh yeah, if you miss a day, then that's it. Then you're gonna be a day behind forever. I think people need to be reminded of that. Like when you're playing gacha game, once you miss a day, you're always gonna be a day behind.
更公平，更可持续的成长体系的愿景。虽然短时间内就是会放弃一些快速变现的方式，但是这样改动对我们产品来说，从长远角度来看。
And I think this is also a fair take. Like early on, they're gonna be giving out a lot of quick cash early on, especially when there's a lot of like stuff to do and a lot of like currencies to gather for people. But I think like just as Warframe has survived so like this long without like any of like those like greedy like really like player unfriendly monetization, like I think if this game is done well, like with a proper like with a good performance, with like a compelling storyline, because that's one of the Warframe selling point, like the story is really good, and that's why like people that sticks to it, like people that people that likes the gameplay is gonna enjoy it so much, because like if they can bear through the gameplay for the most part. I mean, the gameplay has their own like attractiveness, but like the story of the game is actually really good. People just need to like go through the big first time player hurdle, I think, for the most part. So they're not. I think like by the way they're saying this, I think they're trying to build that niche community. I think just like Warframe did, because like Warframe is not the like the biggest like like live service game ever, but like it's definitely lasted a long ass time.
它肯定是能够帮助我们留到更多的玩家，并且提升产品的口碑，吸引更多的新玩家进来。这样呢，最终能够形成一个更健康、更持久的商业模式。那从上次公测定档直播结束之后我们也看到从全球的各个社媒平台有非常多玩家给我们留言，然后给了我们非常多的认可，也给了我们非常多的鼓励这对于我们整工作室来说是一个非常大的动力。在这里也非常感谢大家的肯定与支持然后现在距离公测上线的时间也非常近了，工作室大家都在做最后的这个上线前准备工作当然公测后的这个新版本我们也在同步的开发过程中团队会确保在未来持续给玩家提供高质量的内容。
Sounds like the dev team really went all out.
没错，一切都是为了给玩家更好的游戏体验嘛。
OK， 辛苦了，辛苦了，那你去工作吧。
So, how's the character design coming along? Will it bring more new characters on the way?
当然了，我们其实还在做不同的、更多新角色，还有不同主题的皮肤。那具体是哪些角色呢？就等我们后续版本再揭晓了。
What about the character combat? How do you make sure it feels good to play?
我们的战斗其实是提供了不同的近战远程切换的体验，还有只要有蓝就可以无限的放技能，技能没有 CD 等等。还有就是魔之切的系统呢，只要你刷到就是毕业。那再往后呢，像比如说我们的整个战斗系也做了一些优化的，希望给大家传达一个就是非常轻松没有压力的一个战斗体验。这个是我们的猫房，然后它跟我们一样上班，提供更多的情价值。
I don't know how this is relevant, but brownie points, I guess. Nobody. Oh my god. Okay, this one is good. But cats are always good for publicity, I guess.
你又上班了。
Wow, you even keep cats in the office? That's so wholesome. You must all be really big animal lovers. It reminds me of the Questin game where you feed lots of cats.
I mean, it's a good thing, but I don't know if that's wanna be like one of your selling point. We have a quest where we get to feed the cats. Like, that's cool, But I don't think I would play a game like Warframe to feed cats. I'm just saying.
看来你玩的真的很深刻呀。那接下来我们就去认识一下我们的作曲作艺老师。这个就是我们作曲作艺老师了。
Hi Zekia，
Hi,
我是二重螺旋的音乐制作人 Zoe。
Zoe.
it's nice to meet you. I really love the music in the game. How do
Her name is Zoe, but she only speaks Chinese.
you make it feel so immersive?
游戏的音乐主要是以剧情导向为主进行创作的，然后手
That is great. I love that. I love music that can tell a story. I haven't listened to any of them though. To be fair, I haven't even watched any of the trailers. I'm kinda like saving my first impression on the actual game. I don't want to get eaten up by all the hypes, I guess. Like even I have some of my friends that are like super hype about the game, but I always try to temper my expectations just so I can hopefully give like a fair shot on the game instead of like being dragged either like up or down by the hype or like the impression I'm getting from like not the game itself and the
首先呢
experience.
为重要角色、重要概念、重要设定创作旋律主题，然后再通过使用这些旋律主题的交织发展，推进整个故事的叙事。
Is she
然后
reading?
这个音乐风格和
She looks like she's reading from the freaking monitor.
旋律气质也是从底层世界观设定出发进行创作的。这也是为了完美展现出我理解中的二重螺旋的音乐气质和氛围。好，例如我们的音乐 Main Theme， 我可以给你演示一下。这首旋律主题是为二重螺旋创作的第一首音乐。在创作之前，我花了差不多1个月的时间，仔细的看了底层世界观设定和剧情大纲。看完这个故事以后，我深受启发。我感觉这个故事的内核可以浓缩成2个字：命运。所以这首主题曲就是为了卡戎的命运创作的。被残酷的命运捉弄的悲伤，以及卡戎对命运的反抗，包括我们的公测的主题曲也深刻反映了这种内核，并且邀请了欧美实力派的歌手 Amanda Chen 来演绎，
Amanda
马上大
Chen.
家就能听到了。
Wow, the music of Duet Night Abyss has always had a really unique identity. I can't wait to have the launch thing on repeat. So
Man, this is also marketing speak. I'm wondering if I should keep watching on this parts.
aside from the music, are there any environment upgrades this time?
肯定有啊，我们的场景老师已经在做好准备
Let
了。
me try to
好
speed it
现在
up
带
real
你们
quick.
看一下我们场景准备的效果。
Speed up by
OK，
10%,
这
by
个
the
就是
way.
我们小智老师。
理解，
你好
理解，
，Becky 啊，我是美术组的小智。
理解。
这次我们的确带来了新的升级，刚好就在我这边看一下我们比较熟悉的冰封城吧。
The way they're talking so far, I guess this is based on like people that already watch or like experience or like seen at least like the open beta, right? I guess I wasn't part of it, unfortunately, so I don't have any context on all of this talk.
作为一座城市级别的地图，冰封城的搭建过程其实是非常的讲究。
Oh yes,
不仅要去考
I
虑
remember
这
seeing
里面
this
的建筑，
a glimpse of this though. The Rent people of like Bellabog from like Honkai Star Rail. I can see why they're saying that, but I can also see some differences in it. But I don't know if that's I don't know. I haven't played the game anyway,
风
so
格，然后还要去推演这里居民的生活规律。
there's definitely a more modern touch to it. But I can definitely tell they're trying to aim on the same kind of like vibe as like the Honkai Star Rail's like Bellabog, I guess. But then like they also add a touch of like modernity, like futuristic, like with like the all like the like the props in the map.
包括这里的气候环境等等，才能够让城市看起来更加的真实，更有的烟火气。我们现在看到的一些材质啊、纹理，包括光影，其实都是团队经过反复打磨之后，然后才达到的成果。
Okay.
然后在这版里面，其实我们也针对场景做了进一步的优化。现在我们从开发的画面当中就能够看到。
That is so sad to see. They said like from the you can see the sharper atmosphere maybe sure. The fact that they use 2 NPC at the same time on this they're right next to each other, bro. What the fuck? That is not how you want to showcase your environment. By having exactly two same NPC right next to each other, like 5 meters apart. That does not showcase like hard work and dedication from your team. That showcase like a copy paste NPC. That shows like a low effort. And you can kind of tell too, if we're gonna go back here a bit, right? I'm gonna show you guys a bit here. This NPC on the left here, like right all around my chat box, they also use the exact same pose. This does not give the vibe of like high effort.
整体的氛围，然后还包括细节啊，都相比较之前的版本。
If anything, this NPC all still feels the same as like something. Even I want to say like so far from what I'm getting like from this scene and like this video so far, this feels like lower budget than like something like Wuthering Wave. Like even the NPC on Wuthering Wave back then has like definitely like a bit more attention paid into it.
更加鲜明，然后更具有沉浸。
But if their environment is bigger than like what because like Wuthering Wave has a small city. At least like when you go to Huanglong, like Jinzhou, right? I feel like they compress the size of the city too much, in my opinion. I kind of wish there's a bit more width to it. I think that's what they did in Septimon. I think it's when they started like expanding the settlement in the way like the I think like the size is just right for me. And if that is the case in this game, like if they come out with this first city and like Ice Lake and like it's actually as big as Septimon in terms of like settlement size, then I can kind of forgive the NPC looking kind of static like this, because like I feel like that's already like better than what they Wuthering Wave did when they first released. But we'll see.
Wow, the detail really does look much better now.
当然了，这还只是一个开始。未来我们还会有风格各异的场景。不过暂时我这边先卖一个关子，新的内容很快就会和大家去见面，然后敬请期待吧。
了解了这么多，是不是对我们的产品更有信心
Definitely. I need a PC so I can get started playing right now.
？OK，那就用小智这台吧。那我先去忙别的，你先玩着。但是你要记住不要乱点，不要乱碰。OK。拜拜。
Guess I'll get started. This is gonna be so much fun. Hold on. Why'd they warn me not to snoop? I bet they're hiding something. A confidential file? This is definitely what I came here for. Oh, a gift code? This must be something the producer left behind.
DNA release. Valid until November. Okay, November. So that's still a long time. All right, the first page, just gonna save it there and skip through. So anyone who wants to redeem it, you can just pause here, take the code, and move forward.
The latest optimization, latest benefits, final version content. You've received a new task? Special program.
My friend from afar, do your voice. Is that you? My friend from afar. Does your voice call out to me? Rehearsing is really hard, but let's keep going so we nail today's stream.
Definitely European by the accents, which makes sense, I guess. Like I think like the whole environment I think is like very like Western, maybe European based, maybe American.
The world
But the voice actor is definitely like European here.
outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts. More expansive, yet more brutal. Hush, Fox Hunter. Do you hear something strange? Could it be a Filthoid? Easy now, it's okay. If Barry were around, she would. It's fine, Psyche. Not a Filthoid.
I think she's the female main character, right? Yes. And who is this?
Looks like a little doll. Let me
Looks like a little doll. Let me see. I cannot do it, bro. Can't do it.
see. Wait. No. This is. Berry? What happened to you? So, you met some weirdly dressed folks, got sucked into a device, blacked out, and woke up here, like this. So, you can still understand Miss Berenica's words. This must be your bond. We need a way to turn Berry back. You mean those strange people said, if we complete this live stream smoothly, you will return to normal? All right then. Hello, wherever you are tuning in. Emma Ballantyne here, voice of the female fox hunter.
Fox Hunter. Interesting. Oh, hi Okuma. What is this? This is a Duet Not Abyss live stream, and I'm reacting to it right now. If you interested in the game, or you don't know about the game but want to know more about it, feel free to stick around and watch it with me. I've been following the game for a while. I didn't really get into the open beta, but I've been really interested in the game. Okay, here's a quick summary of the game. It started off as a gacha game, typical. That is more less of what the Genshin and Wuthering Wave variety, and closer to like a gacha version of Warframe. If you never played the game, Warframe is another free-to-play game, basically like a hack and slash hack and slash and shooter for Warframe. But basically, recently they announced that they're gonna remove the gacha system and just gonna be, I think, like sticking, like fully committing into being an anime version of Warframe. That's basically what happened. So I am definitely gonna be committed, like depending on my experience with the game, which is coming next week, like this coming Tuesday, I think is releasing. I am gonna probably be committing to like at least like until the first anniversary, depending on the experience that I have with the game. So I'm gonna definitely be playing it this Monday. I think Monday night is when the game is released, and maybe Tuesday because I'm off on Wednesday. So I'm gonna be playing a lot on Tuesday night. Interesting. Can't wait. But yeah, without further ado, let's continue.
I'm also one of today's hosts, and it's great to see you for the Duet Night Abyss Global Launch Special Preview Program. Hi, I'm Eleanor Bennett, the voice actor.
Eleanor Bennett. Oof, I love their voices. Something about European voice, like accents. Like a lot of people hate how like British accents and everything like that, but I personally like them actually.
For Psyche, Fox Hunters. Seeing everyone together always reminds me of lively, warm days. Hosting together tonight feels wonderful.
At last, I see you again. Hello everyone, I am Alexandra Gell.
If you guys don't know who this is, like Berenica is voiced by Cantarella. The same voice actor as Cantarella, at least, and that's why, like, man, I love Alexandra Guelph's like voice, and I also love like Amanda Richel's like Cardatia's voice actor. They're both legit. Like Jian's voice actor is so good too. It's just like so sad that we don't get to see them in Wuthering Wave like ever since 1.0, like 1 point something. It's so sad.
Berenica's voice actor.
Welcome to the Duet Night Abyss Global Launch Special Program.
Yeah!
We and the Duet Night Abyss dev team will show you what's in the global launch. And there is a lot more to share. First up, the music video for the new theme song.
All right, before it starts, I think I'm gonna do like, well, I'm not gonna. I wanted to call it music breakdown, but I don't even have any knowledge in the music. I think I'm gonna call it like, musical prediction. I'm gonna predict how the story goes based on the music, I guess, because like I can't do breakdowns. I don't have enough knowledge on this department.
Faltering in the whiteout,
Thank you so much for the lurk, Kuma. Enjoy.
The fickle night wind wipes out some pale sands, leaving others tossed, faltering in that wild.
Definitely very melancholic. And the way the lyrics goes, right? It seems like it's gonna be like a lot kind of like Soul Survivor or like kind of like Last Standing God or something, Last Standing King kind of vibe, like for our character at least. Like it's like a one person against the world kind of vibe, and like when you lost everything, and yet here you are still standing. Despite that, right?
Strained with the gunfire and smoke, I wonder why life is so low, and in what the glory so. I trek on.
The way the music just changed now, like with the organ in the back started to play, like I'm like, even though like they're staring at like what I'm assuming to be like a goddess statue right now, right? I'm wondering if this is actually the antagonist of the story, because like the organ is usually used when it describes something that is like holy, so kind of like in the church, like something royal, like kind of like a royalty, like a king or like a noble, or something evil. And like I guess they're supposed to be between the two. I think between the holy and the evil. Or like maybe like an evil divinity. Cuz it, when I say holy, I'm not talking about like religion or something. I'm talking about like something like beyond human, beyond mortal, right? Yep, something beyond humanity indeed. Ooh, the character design there on the few scenes we just see is really good actually. Really solid. A lot of like, it seems like a lot of struggles, which I guess like, pretty obvious from the cutscene that we've seen. There's supposed to be a lot of actions and like back and forth. But the way the song plays so far, it gives me the feeling of like, oh, gonna be like, it's kind of like complaining and pushing through kind of thing, vibe at least. And like even as like everyone like kind of like asking or like lamenting, like you just and you yourself like also questioning it, right? And you still push forward because like the song like kind of like boom 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 boom, like it kind of like marches on, kind of like rhythm. so far, like the few showcase of like the scene that they showed, like with a lot of the enemies, I really hope that is also gonna apply and when the actual gameplay, because I think one of the main selling point of Warframe is that like it's a power fantasy, right? Where you get like this like horde of enemies. It's like playing Dynasty Warrior. You got this horde of enemies coming in, and you just this like unstoppable force of nature plowing through them, killing everything in your path as you like try to finish your objective. I think that's kind of one of like things that makes Warframe attractive for me back then. I mean, even now, but like that's kind of one of the selling point. I really hope that's the case. But my problem with it is that the game is also designed to run on phones, right? So I'm wondering if they can actually do that. Like, will phones be able to handle having 100 enemies at the same time on the screen? Because my PCs sure struggle when I'm playing Warframe back then, if I have that much enemies on the screen.
Wow, that clip was a rush. The ethereal chant was captivating, and it
Oh damn, she's kind of hot.
showed so many of our best moments.
Our theme song sounds so grand, with a round as well as a full chorus.
That's right. The chorus was a creative touch from our music team, meant to capture the voices of people across Atlasia, all raising a cry together against fate.
A cry together against fate. I guess that's why they have like this whole team, like male and like female voices team, like crying their soul out, like as they push. I guess like that was my what I was trying to say earlier when I said like they were having like this like all this like kind of like complaining as they push forward. I guess it's less complaining and more about like a roar, like a war roar, or like I don't know how what the word is not coming into my mind right now. But I hope I got my point across-ish.
And if you listen closely, you'll notice a round woven into the chorus as a counter melody, echoing the intertwined perspectives of our dual protagonists. The chant with the pipe organ was outstanding. But, I also noticed some images that made me pause.
Hold on, Fox Hunter. First things first. It's time for us to step forward and head to the amazing world of Duet Night Abyss.
Duet Night Abyss comes from Hero Games' Pan Studio, with a dual protagonist story and layered combat.
So what do they mean with dual protagonist story? Does that mean it's see, I'm really confused in this part. Is that like, is it gonna be something like Genshin Impact, where if you pick the character, the other character is gonna be on the other side of the story? Or is it gonna be something like Honkai Star Rail or Wuthering Wave, where like the character are like the alter ego, are like this, both characters are the same. So like both characters are canon and both characters are like going through the same experience because they're both are like the same person? Or is it gonna be something like Zenless Zone Zero, which is like, you know, whichever character you pick is gonna be the character you're taking the perspective on, but the other character is gonna be there, like the other character that you did not pick is gonna be on your side of the team experiencing the story with you. Which one does that mean? I'm wondering if they're gonna explain that more.
Global launch starts October 28th. Grind commissions to unlock every character and weapon for free, no stamina cap, and swap melee or range setups for high impact fights.
They're selling it really hard on like the grind to play.
Our tale.
Here's the problem though. Here's is one of my biggest concern with the game, right? I'm just gonna tell it straight before they explain anything more. Is that like this game is trying to be what like a Warframe in the anime game genre, right? The problem is that Warframe is designed as like a global server. Like basically you can play with anyone in the world when you play Warframe, because Warframe is designed as like the story part is a really single player focus, but the grinding experience are supposed to be enjoyed with are supposed to be experienced for the most part with other people, because like having more players in your team when grinding affects the amount of loot you're getting in Warframe. But the problem I'm having right now is that since Duet Night Abyss first during the first development of Duet Night Abyss, they were designed more as a gacha game, right? And gacha games mostly, like almost all of them, have region lock. They separated the progression on every server that you got, and that works on like a game that is like focused on like single player experience with like with all the other gacha games. But if they're trying to be a Warframe, doing that means like dividing the player base technically, because now people that play on NA can only play with other NA player, and people that play on Asia can only play with other Asian player. Meanwhile, like in Warframe, you have multiple servers, but your progression is not limited on each of them. You can play with the same account on any servers. So that is to see. We'll have to see what they're gonna end up doing. I am not getting my hopes up, but that is definitely, because that is definitely gonna be like a really kind of like it's gonna affect the game quite a bit, because like if the experience of the game is supposed to be like Warframe, then it's gonna be multiplayer focused, but you're gonna be you're gonna be designing a game to be multiplayer focused and divide your player base at the same time. That seems like a two opposite like decision to make. I feel like that is gonna like counteract each other.
Opens in the continent of Atlasia, starting with the iron-blooded Hyperborean Empire. The long-persecuted Charon bear a demon force that curses them and arms them in equal measure.
In the prologue, the fox hunter and I lived on a small place called Purgatorio Island, growing
Wait. Veronica is like our childhood friend.
up together and relying on each other. One day, the isle was attacked by terrifying filthoids. We headed to a ruin to escape, but ran into the Empire's 13th Legion, led by Chief Sybil Mason. And they were after me.
That really gave us a scare. And Sybil took you away.
It's okay. I made it back.
Later, I somehow arrived in Ice Lake, in the Empire's north. It was there that I met Psyche, in a fateful encounter. Yes, as the main exploration area for the global launch, we made many memories here, happy and sad. We will overwrite the pain with new memories. As you proceed with the journey, you'll enter a new stage, switching to the perspective of another protagonist to see a fresh tale unfold in a different corner of Atlasia. Right! We are a dual perspective, dual story game. So what trial?
Oh, so you're gonna be playing two of them interchangeably. So that's what they mean dual perspective, I guess. You don't get to choose, I'm assuming. You get to, or maybe you get to choose who you start with, but the other one you will have to play them either way. I wonder.
Await the other protagonist, and who will cross their path? No idea yet, but I am sure our paths will cross. The rest is yours to discover. Got it! I'm excited too! In the meantime, here is the version 1.0 trailer.
That is a lot of free character give. I wonder if they're all 5-star or is this just like 4 stars? Ooh, that weapon switch just now, it's kind of it's not as like it's not as good as Warframe. Because in Warframe you can actually see the weapon that she brought and like they brought, and like you can definitely see them changing between like putting the weapon away and changing the weapon. But like in this game, the weapon switch is more kind of like like Warning Wave or Genshin, where like the weapon just disappears. Like they would pop up and disappears like whenever they need, like whenever you do actions. And I'm also wondering if like every character, like if the weapon animation is gonna depend on the weapon itself, because I think that's technically that's probably gonna be how it's going to be. But I think what I really hope to see in something like this is that like if the character has like a signature weapon, I'm really hoping that like you can like they have a different animation or like different effects at least. Like for example, like the weapon would glow if they're the one using it, or maybe they have like a more flair in their animations or smoother. It's kind of like let's say like if you're playing something like Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain, if you use a bow with like the bow character and the non-bow character, you can definitely see like the bow character can shoot the bow faster because they know what they're doing. And everyone else can use the bow too. They're just not gonna shoot as fast because they're not technically a bow character. That is straight up mess up from Warframe. Holy shit. Ooh. Is it like a kind of like selling skin already? Oh, custom color. Interesting. That's definitely something new. I don't think that I don't think most like a gacha game has any kind of like feature for that just yet, if ever. That's definitely like a Warframe thing where you can change the color of every part of like your character's costume. Oh, what did it say? Destinies intertwine. Oh wait, I'm wondering it like here, right? So in here, you can definitely see there's like two characters, like two male and two female. So I'm wondering if that's what they mean by like the dual protagonist. Is that if you pick the male, it's gonna be this guy and the guy from before, right? So if you pick the guy, it's gonna be this guy and the other guy here. And if you pick the girl, it's gonna be that girl and this girl right here. Or if it's gonna, or is it the other way around, where like if you pick the guy, it's gonna be with the girl, and if you pick this guy, it's gonna be with that girl. I'm leaning more toward the former, where like if you pick this guy, the other version, the dual protagonist is gonna be this guy. So you're gonna be like twins, basically, kind of.
那本次公测的版本呢，我们将开放4个章节，那分别是主线的剧情，那包括了。
There we go. It's the same character technically with just a different outfit. So I'm wondering if this is the boy and girl in the dream. So I guess, yeah, I get my theory might be right because this guy is gonna be dreaming as like this guy, and this girl's gonna be dreaming as this girl. The other version of me in a way. And also you can definitely tell like there's the goddess here and like the character from the trailer earlier, like the dark character. So light and dark. I wonder if it's that simple or if there's more to it.
夜航篇的第1章、夜航篇的第2章，然后以及薄暮篇的第1章。
除了刚才这个大成老师提到的剧情以外，公测版本呢，我们还会时装
Prologue and 3 chapters of the story. New characters. Baronica
在内的总共19名角色，这里面包括了赛奇和菲娜，然后还有45把近远程武器。
45 of them.
当然，这里面也包括了我们俩。
You know, when people say this, I'm kind of skeptical. Is that like it's gonna be 45 weapon? It's gonna be like five. It's gonna be 5 weapon with with 5 different variants or something like that. And it's gonna be like, oh, so it's just 8 weapons with like 5 different flavor for each, right? Because like that's what I'm kind of scared, is that when they say 45 weapon, is it 45 distinct different weapon, or is it gonna be like fire side, ice side, electric side, wind side, and then dark side, and then light side? That's like six of the same weapon with different elements, but they count it as different weapons. Because like I think like in Warframe, that's almost not a thing. Every weapon has their own distinction. Obviously, there's like a different, like there's definitely like a weapon archetype, right? It's gonna be a katana or a great katana, but like just like in kind of like in Elden Ring or in Warframe, like this katana does magic, and hit this like the magic katana has like this move set, and like the other katana does like purely physical, so like it has a different move set. Like we'll have to see, because like if it's just the same weapon with different colors and different, you know, different numbers, then I'm not considering it as like a different weapon. It better have like, it better be different in a lot of things and not just colors.
2把新武器，大家都可以通过游戏内的委托密函系统免费获取。这些角色和武器也都是可以在商店中直接购买的。地图
That's okay for me. If you give them the option to whether to grind them, as long as the grind is reasonable, right? Like I'm not saying you need to be able to get them in an hour of playing the game or something like that, but like reasonable grind, I want to say like if you can play like 10 hours or something, like 8 to 10 hours and get the character, then or you can spend the money and get them. I think that's a pretty fair trade in general. You know, because like if I said like, oh, you need to be able to grind them, and then they're gonna pull an EA and like, yeah, you can grind a character, it's just gonna take 40 hours, like a whole month of like you playing the game 10 hours every week to get one, and then we're gonna have 20 characters, so that's like 40 hours times 20, like 800 hours. Like that's too crazy in my opinion. So like having it to be like 5, 6, 8, 10 hours of grind for one character, I think it's reasonable. Maybe like it, you know, it also helped like kind of sell the you know, the character a bit if people do not have enough time and want to buy it. I think Warframe does that, where you can like you can grind for the character in general, like not like depending on your luck, it might be quicker, it might be longer, or you can buy the character immediately from the store.
中还有非常多可爱的魔灵大家可以去收集。
那之前参加测试的玩家其实对赛奇其实有一定的了解。那这里其实我们还是要给各位新玩家再介绍一下赛奇。赛奇的名字同时拥有灵魂和蝴蝶的双重含义。在角色设计上呢，以蝴蝶元素为蓝本，让它整体看起来像是一个翩翩飞舞的蝴蝶少女。那它的故事呢，也像蝴蝶一样，拥有着破茧重生的寓意。那战斗上呢，其实它赛奇更适合推荐我们是长柄武器。那搭配我们新做的一个叫玉筒穿刺魔之蝎之后呢，其实是能改变它的一些战斗框架的。
Oh, I wonder if Demon Wedge is gonna be like kind of like the Warframe's version of like the like. So Warframe has like a mod, like has mods that affects numbers, and they also have mods that affect attack animation. So I'm wondering if that's what Demon Wedge is gonna be. Well, at least the one that they're describing right now.
然后同时，赛奇的小技能它其实是能够触发一个幻象，然后呢再次使用这个幻象，它其实会爆炸，
Teleport back
并且持续对周围附加移动降速的效果。然后开大之后呢，它其实就会
Also, that seems like there's a lot of more it's definitely a lot more enemies than any other like gacha games or like games of this genre that we've seen so far. It's definitely closer to like Warframe, but I think this is on PC. I don't think this is on phone. I'm wondering how it's gonna perform on phone, because like the way the UI design, I don't think this is designed for like the phone version, at least. Like this is not a phone UI, I think.
然后在那个进入飞行状态。
Oh, this is just straight up Titania.
左键按住呢，跟右键按住都是可以进行无限弹药的设计的。然后当你在飞行状态下再次使用这个小技能之后，它其实会发射出各种巡航导弹，自动跟踪所有的敌人。
另外介绍一位我们的新角色菲娜，她和武器 之梦的白羽将会在11月25日加入游戏。
That looks like a
菲娜呢
pistol.
是一位沉浸在童话故事的病弱少女，她会通过绘本创作，把残酷的现实转化为美好的童话。这些美好的童话就像她身上的羽翼元素一样，给她一双梦想的翅膀，
So it is
赋
a
予她
rifle.
面对现实的力量。菲娜小技能在一个暖和的午后，会对范围内敌人造成光属性伤
Lumino. The way the name was, I'm guessing Lumino is gonna be light weapon.
害，并
Like light as in like light, like, you know, bright lights. Like element, like spectral.
加移动速度降低。开启大招后，则会在身前展开领域。此时再使用小技能呢，就会在领域内切换4种不同的属性，产生不同的效果。然后在这里要跟大家强调一下，就是说我们2位新角色和新武器，都是会永久的加入到游戏中的。
Permanently available in the game. Is it because they're standard characters, or is it because like once it? So here's what I'm wondering: when they say permanent available, is it because like all the character banner will eventually be, like all the limited banner will eventually join the standard banner, or is it because they're standard banner characters to begin with?
It seems that Fina and I will be meeting everyone soon. Just thinking about it makes me so excited. The various weapons also dazzled my eyes. So, how can we obtain powerful weapons? And how will new companions be encountered? Meow, meow. Oh, it seems that Barry has something to say.
Free! Free! Duet Night Abyss's secret ingredient is allowing all characters and weapons to be grindable through dungeons with the consumption of secret letters.
Wait, what?
As for how to obtain secret letters, how to collect characters, both new and existing ones, all I can say is that more surprises await us.
What are they? You're really driving my interest now.
You'll see.
首先是为大家介绍一下我们新角色的获取方式。然后这里的话还是以赛奇为例，赛奇加入的首个版本大概是28天，大家只要在常驻玩法沉浸式戏剧中，获得一定的星级评分，就可以获得大量的赛奇的角色密函。开启角色密函之后，就可以获得赛奇的这个角色碎片，最终通过合成获得赛奇。
那新武器要怎么获得？
新武器其实这样的，就是在挑战这个玩法的同时啊，其实会获得一些代币。那么拿这些代币呢，就可以在这个商店中进行兑换，换取我们这个新武器的密函，然后通过委托密函系统开启，就能获得这把新武器的铸造材料。最终通过铸造系统就可以获得我们的这个新武器。
那我还有一个疑问，就是说等后面新角色加入的时候呢，比如说菲娜。他在加入的时候，还是通过这个玩法去获得。如果是的话，那赛奇后续我去哪里获得呢？
这个是这样的，就是在菲娜加入的时候呢，它还是通过这个沉浸式戏剧这个玩法产出。那这个时候，赛奇和新武器的获取途径，将会有所改变，将会从这个沉浸式戏剧中转换到这个 BOSS 的挑战副本，也就是游戏内的这个梦魇残生的玩法里面。
还有就是除了赛奇以外的其他角色，还是和之前说的刷副本，然后刷取这个密函来获得吗？
其实我们在上一次的这个前瞻里面有提到过，是说的，当时说的是副本里面会刷取角色密函嘛。但是在上次直播公布之后，然后我们也收到了玩家的一些疑问，比如说这些角色是不是在同一个副本，还是在不同的副本？那如果我刷这个副本又刷不到自己想要的角色密函怎么办？这种体验都是非常坐牢的。所以说我们对于这个刷取的体验呢，也进行了一些优化。在公测版本中呢，玩家挑战副本时候
I hope you just get like a blank materials that you can convert into anyone's character instead of like specific character shards. Because that would suck. Like having to do the dungeon. Oh, like this dungeon drops specifically Fina's shard, and then like the next dungeon is gonna drop specifically Psyche's shards. Oh, that's gonna be awful.
击杀怪物的同时，有一定概率获得委托
secret letter clues.
密函线索。
Okay, so when you're defeating characters, there's a chance to obtain the secret
是
letters.
我们在各个常驻系统里面也投放了大量的密函线索奖励，
Various
然后
permanent
使用10个
system.
密函线索，就可
Every
以在
clues
商
can
店
be
中去
exchanged for a
兑
secret
换一个
letter.
自己想要的角色密函。
Secret letter. Okay, so yeah, I was right. So like it's gonna be a global secret letter that can be exchanged for specific character secret
或者是
letter.
一个武器密函，或者是
Or
魔之蝎密函。
weapons or
那么
demon
除了日
wedge.
常副本产出的这部分呢，玩家还
Yep, that's how they should do do it. They should make it the material. They should try to like simplify the currency system as simple as possible, like for it to be player friendly. Because like the whole point of having multiple currency system usually is to confuse players, right? To increase the difficulty of like understanding the system. So like having them much more, well, to be fair, this is not as simple as I liked it to be, but considering that you can earn them from playing the game itself, I think this is pretty reasonable. I think Warframe still does this too, where like, you know, collecting a certain amount of this can be converted into like a different kind of resource that it is needed to craft a whole different thing. But as long as you can get them from the game instead of like being limited by time or by money, I think this is like a fair, it's an okay design.
可以通过梦魇残生玩法直接获得部分密函，然后这个密函里面它是有角色密函，也有武器密函的，以及在其他玩法中也是可以直接获取金色魔之街的设计稿。所有的角色和武器在商店内都是会开放购买渠道，所以整体而言，在之前的基础上，也就上一次直播的基础。
Okay, here. So that's how this is how they design it. Okay, this is definitely way like easier, like simple like. So character secret letter drops character shards, or you can buy them, and then you can obtain a character immediately, and you can obtain so like the daily quest and the daily commission gives you the clues. The clues can be exchanged into character secret letter, and you can also get them through like these 3 permanent gameplay mode. I'm assuming this is kind of like endgame-ish. So it's kind of like TO, like Tower of Adversity, or like kind of like Spiral Abyss in Genshin, or something similar.
基础上，我们做了一些优化和调整，然后大家现在也可以通过屏幕上。
Which would be weird, because like not a lot of people would be able to finish it early on then, unless they spend money, or like S6 Baronica, for example, or something.
播放的视频和图片更为直观的了解当前版本的这个获取路径。
获取方式清楚。
I'm really happy that they decided to make like to make this though. I think this is kind of like a really good like simple way of explaining it. Like, and I kind of get what they were saying earlier, but like this helps immensely in like understanding the whole system, especially when they're not exactly speaking in English. So some words may not actually be like fully translated like well.
图片更为直观的了解当前版本的这个获取路径。
获取方式清楚了，那我们新的角色还有新的武器的更新速度，未来是怎么样的呢？
那这个就我来回答吧。那
Are they gonna be following the typical like gacha game update cycle, or are they gonna be doing their own update cycle, or are they gonna be following or like copying a Warframe's like update cycle? Because I think Warframe does it every 3 months. I think big updates. If I'm not wrong.
关于未来的版本呢，角色和武器的更新节奏，其实目前来讲，我们定制的是
28 days. So they're gonna be doing their own thing. It's gonna be every month in a way, every 4 weeks. So if it's every 4 weeks, it's gonna be 13 banners every year. 13 banner cycles. So every year they're gonna try to. Oh, that's a lot of characters. I guess that's kind of stems from their gacha DNA, right? Where gacha games usually try to sell you characters. I think in Warframe, they have this update cycle where it's like 4 new Warframe every year. I think. New Warframe. I'm not talking about like this. I think the Prime is like their own thing, but like basically new Warframe is like 4 every year, and it's always 2 male, 2 female, if I am not wrong.
28天更新1名新角色和1把新武器。那考虑到更新的速度太快，然后有一些玩家可能会认为
If you're on a woman for some kind of, you know what, that's fair. I think like a month is like a really good, like instead of like, cause like currently update phase for like every gacha game is like kind of like 6 weeks, right? So 42 days. But like every banner usually only lasts for 3 weeks. So technically this gives you more time to grind for like all these new characters, because like they come in every month instead every 4 weeks instead of 3. An extra week to farm. It's pretty good. And it also helps them differentiate from like the update cycle of like every other gacha games out there, which means like more like there's more chance for them to be able to like slips into like people's like like gaming schedule in a way.
敲定了这个更新节奏。那随着公测开启呢，大家对这个地方如果有很多的意见或者建议呢，我们都是可以给我们反馈的。我们会根据大家整体情况。
But like, I'm wondering if they're also gonna follow. I'm wondering how they're gonna do it, like the update patches. Is it gonna be every 8 weeks then, or are they gonna be doing new character, like new story, with every 4 weeks? Because if they're doing new story patch for every week, then either the budget is gonna balloon or the quality is gonna suffer. Because that 4 weeks is way too quick for like a story update, unless they're doing like less content in general, right?
我们再进行调整。那随着未来的新角色跟新武器的不断加入，我们也会对过往的内容的获取方式呢进行更进一步的调整。那最终所有的角色跟武器都会加入到兑换商店里面去了。
Wait a moment. Let me get this straight. So, some characters can be infinitely farmed in the early stage, while the farming of others is limited at the beginning. But they can also be infinitely farmed in the future, right?
Got it
Yes.
in one, Fox Hunter. Moreover, both the regular commission and the covert commission have now enabled the online matching function. You can team up.
Bro. First of all, that's definitely the UI for the PC. You can kind of see here. So maybe the other one on the phone, like earlier, was the phone UI. But I think what's funny is that this perfectly describes or like showcase to you the Warframe experience, where the 3 people is just sitting there while one of them is just carrying the whole game. And everyone else is watching YouTube while grinding.
Up with friends or random players to clear the dungeon.
The assets looks kind of low quality though. I don't know if this is because if this is like a high, if this is the settings, or maybe this is the, you know, I kind of wish they would do it the way they did in Wuthering Wave, where like PC gets like the special settings where it gets like way higher tier of like quality of like texture and everything like that. Because like I'm pretty sure like they can always do that, right? They can make it as like a DLC, or like, you know, like having a broad amount of settings I think is always nice to have.
Dungeons together. If you are clearing the dungeon alone, the auto combat assistance function will be enabled by default, and our AI will help you easily farm the dungeon.
Oh no. Bro, I wanna be the powerful one. What do you mean AI is gonna help me?
Great. Guess we could spend more time together to clear dungeons, Fox Hunter. Definitely. Now, let's take a look at the other new things prepared by the dev team. Since the global launch announcement stream was scheduled, everyone has been very concerned about how Duet Night Abyss will make money.
We already know how. Pay to progress quicker, which is what Warframe does, and skins. That's what they do too. They still sell you premium currency, but you can also earn them. I think that's the biggest key about it, right? Is that if you can either trade your time or your money, which is something that you cannot do in gacha games, because gacha games limits the amount of things you can get. So like the whole point is that they want you to pay. Which, you know, for a business, that's fine and all, but like in the perspective of the player, that sucks, right? Because like that means even if you have more time, you cannot invest more to get more back. You're in, like, you can only put so much effort into a gacha game. Because even if you're the best, like quickest, like speedrunner of like the hardest dungeon in like a gacha game, or like the speedrunner on like the hardest end game content, right? It does not matter. You still get the same amount every single month. But while in here, like your players' effort are being rewarded because you can grind faster, like because you can grind the in-game like stuff. So that means like being better at the game will reward you. Like the game will reward you for being better in the game. For like example, like being better, like being more efficient in grinding, or like being more mechanically good at like the gameplay.
After adjusting the characters.
And if you don't, if you don't want to invest the time, you can invest the money. But like, I think like the whole point for me, like all in all, my focus is that like the player choice, I think.
Weapons to be free.
And of course, both have to be reasonable. You know, the price of the item has to be reasonable, and the amount of effort you get that you have to put into getting those in-game content has to be reasonable too. Like either cannot be too. And you know, if you make the item really cheap, but then like earning it through the game takes you like if you make the item cost $10, right? But then like if you wanted to earn it yourself in game, you have to play 10 hours of like this certain dungeon. Then like you can kind of tell that it's so imbalanced because now you just be like, oh, so you just want us to spend the $10 then. But like if you make it cost like $30 or you can earn them in the game, then suddenly like the value proposition is definitely way better. And like you can see like, oh, you know, that's kind of fair. That sounds more fair. I'm not saying it's super fair, but I'm just saying it's more fair that way.
Speaking of which, I think I've heard the devs talk about some kind of new outfit.
那从公测版本开始呢，我们
Summer
二
outfit?
商业化
Winter
从过
outfit?
去的角色抽卡、武器抽卡转移到了外观内容上了。所以呢，在这个地方我给大家介绍一下公测版本的外观内容跟外观的获取方式。那分别是直售和抽卡两种方式。那公测版本当中呢，我们将会开启常驻卡池星光回旋曲，大家可以在这里呢获取松露的外观和利贝卡的外观。同时呢，我们还将开启限时卡池夏梦风悲集。 那有机会获取赛奇的限定外观，那限定的长柄武器外观和限定的衣饰和红色棱镜等。那红色棱镜呢，其实是可以在商店中获取限定的展示动作。上述的3个皮肤其实均可以在启梦入夜活动当中进行试玩体验的。那商店中同时期上架的优惠礼包当
Man, she's hot. Those thighs.
中，大家可以根据实际的需求再进行购买。 然后我们就以赛奇皮肤为例，来大家看看这个赛奇皮肤的一些时装细节。那你可以看到它转动镜头的时候，裙摆上的闪粉效果呢，其实也是会闪闪发光的。那它的发饰呢、腿环、手环，还有很多的一些细节，其实我们都在精心的打磨了一下，并且那个赛奇这套皮肤的战斗特效和大招特效呢，我们都做了单独的特效调整。那配合上新出的这个武器魔之蝎，整体的战斗效果其实会更加帅气。同时还有这个时装都有染色功能，那我们也可以按照自己的喜好定制自定义的服装和各个部件的颜色。那包括特效部位也是可以打造出自己专属的外观的。那这里我再详细说明一下，就是这个特效部位，那我们新增了。
Interesting. So is the color is like they say that like all these skins are available with the new coloring feature system, right? But I'm wondering is it only the skins that can be colored, or can you color the characters like default skins too?
它转动镜头的时候，裙摆上的闪粉效果呢，其实也是会闪闪发光。
That's actually a lot of details. Like I kind of like that.
那它的发饰呢、腿环、手环，还有很多的一些细节，其实我们都在。
Okay, this is definitely like a computer, like a PC settings, because you can like, there's no way they put this much detail on like the phone version.
在精心的打磨了一下，并且那个赛奇这套皮肤的战斗特效和大招特效呢，我们都做了单独的特效调整。那配合上新出的这个武器魔之蝎，整体的战斗效果其实会更加帅气。同时还有这个时装都有染色功能，那我们也可以按照自己的喜好定制。
They got some of the colors of the whole set, right? But like, is it only the skins?
那包括特效部位也是可以打造
Even the X can be
外观的。
Man, that's definitely they definitely took some note from the Warframe.
那这里我再详细说明一下，就是这个特效部位。那我们新增了9号的位置，就是可以通过改变9号的位置，大家可以随意去染出最后想要配合你想要 DIY 的颜色一个非常协调的一个整体染色。
We love to see that.
这也是之前
I always welcome this feature.
希望说 OK 了，我这个特效也希望跟我想染色是一样的。那大家可以不仅仅根据自己喜欢的喜好进行去染色，也可以自由的搭配饰品 DIY 自己喜欢的形象。那这里就可以
Ooh,
简单展示一下我们赛奇的全套外观效果。
除了商店这些可以购买饰品外呢，我们在游戏中其实也投放了很多的免费饰品和展示动作。
Nice.
完成夜航
We love that.
篇第1章后，冰湖城的主城区就会
Co-op
解
area
锁多人区域，大家就可以来到这个中间区域来展示。
So you can like see this is what Warframe missed for so long before they added the new open world area where you can see other players, like a player hub. I think back then you can only meet them in the trading hub, which, you know, most people don't visit unless they actually want to trade. But then like you added the open world hub where you can join in before going into the big open world map in Warframe, right? I think they're doing the same exact thing here. So they definitely took some note on like the newer generation of Warframe too.
是自己搭配后的角色， 然后和好友一起来烤肉，一起拍照。
They got the whole like Monster Hunter barbecue cooking.
甚至可以在冰湖城一起睡大觉。
这样看起来还蛮有
That
意思的。
sounds kind of like MMO.
然后，那希望未来我们可以加入更多有趣的这种互动的动作。
我们也确实正在做了。然后是我们之前直播中展示过的那个圣诞皮肤。那圣诞主题皮肤在公测版本开启后呢，其实我们就会在商城中售卖了，并且呢会开启限时折扣活动。那首先呢就是我们夜航篇的主角兽。
Okay, here's what I'm wondering: is the skin is gonna be paid only, or can you actually grind to get them?
兽月人，它的限时折扣价为
So
6元。
so far, the way they describe it, it's gonna be fully paid only because it's monetization, right? So which is, I guess, it's okay, but it's definitely, you know, less friendly than Warframe, because in Warframe you can grind the currency, so you can buy like basically 90%, 95% of like the skins in the game. I think the only skins you cannot buy with premium currency in the game in the Warframe is actually the skins that are made by the community. So that one you have to pay money, but everything else is like technically quote unquote earnable.
也就是说，从一开始玩家进来就可以给我们主角换上圣诞。
That's nice. We've been asking for this. Like, I feel like a lot of gacha games, like a lot of people already asked this on like gacha games, where like, do more skins. You don't like, if you like, they want money. I don't know why. I don't understand why they don't just like start selling skins too. Like, what's with this like avoidance of like selling skins?
然后呢，就是我们的皮肤自选箱。 在新上架的时候呢，前2件都会有一定的折扣价。那购买之后呢，玩家可以任意自选一名角色的自选这个圣诞皮肤，角色呢也包含这个菲娜。那不同角色的圣诞皮肤都会跟随角色会有一点不同的小设计差异。
那我们的主题皮
That's really nice, because that all of them, like a lot of, even though like the shirt was mostly the same, but the way they do the accessories and everything, I feel like that's, you know, that takes work, right? So that's
皮
nice.
肤是限时售卖吗？
不是限时售卖，我们主题皮肤未来的规划上来说，都是一个上架后就会常驻的放在商店中，任何时候都可以购买。当然这个折扣活动是限时的，所以大家喜欢这个新的就圣诞主题皮肤的话，就要尽快下手。
Interesting. I think that's technically more friendly than what they did in Warframe, because in Warframe, I think like the theme skin, like the Christmas or like the Halloween stuff, like they usually like, or like the Valentine stuff, they usually run out and like will be out of sale once the you know, the date goes by. But they always come back every year though, so it's more like a kind of like a seasonal thing.
未来我们也会去陆续推出更多的这个。
But I think this is a much better way to do it, where like, oh, if you buy it now, you get a discount, but you can always buy it anytime. It's just if you buy it now, you can get a discount.
So that's what the dev teams were thinking. Wow, that's such a bold and game-changing move. Oh, that dress really was a kicker. You know what? I happen to have something for you. Not only that dress, the devs have also custom-made a whole new look for you. Really? For me? Ta-da! Fox Hunter, what's this?
Ooh. Skin trailer. Interesting.
This is a set specifically made for.
They specifically made this just for like the, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of effort. That's extra effort. I appreciate that, ain't gonna lie.
Me? Oh, let me see. Magnificent silk, beautiful roses, and an elegant violin. Looks like a ballroom night. Beautiful Fox Hunter, may I have the honor of a dance? Oh, wait. There's one more surprise for you.
Oh, violet, hyacinth and bluet, wake up, let us.
Wait. I really hope. Here's an idea free of charge to all the anime games company out there. Sell your fucking music as a DLC. You know, kind of like what Expedition 33 did, where you can get the soundtrack. Like the like, you know, like putting it on Spotify is great and everything, but like some people, like me for example, wants the high quality version of it, like the FLAC, the high bitrate and stuff. Like, and being like, I would gladly pay, like, you know, a solid like $10 for example, like to get like the whole playlist, like one playlist at least, for example, if they actually sell them. Like, I would gladly like the Wuthering Wave and the Genshin Impact story, like songs are so good, but like the worst part of it is the fact that like when they put it on spot, like, you know, YouTube or Spotify, right, they're compressed. And why, I don't understand like why they, like, I'm sure somewhere they already have the high quality version of it, like the remaster, like the mastering version of it, where it's like high quality and like not compressed. And why couldn't they just sell it? Just like what most game does when they, like, when game, you know, when games sells like deluxe version of their own game, like when company does that, right? I don't understand why they don't do that.
Us welcome another sunlit, merciful day. Look at them, they smile so bright, and it lights up my night. How I wish I had known.
It has a lot of like classical vibe to it. Like all of them are like classical music. I guess like that's the whole theme of the game, right? So I'm kind of glad like we're going back into the classical era. You know, like music. I love me some EDMs, but I love me some classical music too, or at least classical vibe. I don't really listen to like purely classical stuff, but I do love some of them. And I would love, like, I'm glad that like more, you know, games are like also embracing that too.
Nightingale, broken wings. You can weep, you can sleep.
And there's a song written for me. Thank you so much, Fox Hunter. The others' EPs are lovely and make me curious about their tales.
Yes, these tracks are produced by our music label, the Misty Corvus, which has now officially launched. The first character EPs, featuring Psyche, Fina, and Fantasio, are on the way. Be sure to keep an eye out. Oh, there's more! Ta-da!
All right, as usual, pause if you need to redeem the reward, like the codes. And you know what? Let me actually do this. DNA release is the first code. DNA free play is the second code. You can copy that, paste that, put it on a game to redeem it, and now we're gonna move forward from the freaking thing.
上线后可以通过邮件直接1500万的目标。所以说玩家们在公测上线后，可以通过邮件直接去领取贝雷尼卡，还有就是25个纯白沙漏，以及养成素材，还有外观道具。
由于我们游戏内的这个角色卡池删掉之后呢，其实我们有考虑到玩家在前期其实可以使用的角色就会比较少了。那目前其实只有一个主角，所以除了主角以外，我们在剧情任务中呢也去投放了一些角色奖励。首先是解锁据点后，大家就可以直接在邮箱中领取30个立贝卡的碎片，获取前期挂机非常好用的角色立贝卡。那么完成序章。
They even know what like the kind of community they want to foster. AFK gameplay, bro.
以及夜航篇还有薄暮篇的任务， 就可以获得30个马尔街碎片，然后30个奥特赛德碎片，以及30个达芙涅碎
So I'm assuming all these characters are 4-star characters in a way.
片。那么这些碎片合成之后，其实就是能
Which I think is like a more of like kind of like a gacha mindset, I guess. Like at least for me, in my opinion, because like in Warframe, for example, there is no such thing as a 4-star characters, right? But here's the thing: right now, you can kind of see from the design, there's definitely more effort and like detail being put into all the other characters, like the previous 2 characters, like the limited ones, like the Psyche and Vina. So you can like whenever you see this character, they're gonna be like, oh, is this like the 4-star version? But like even though it's not, really. Or maybe it is, but like that shouldn't have been a thing, especially if you're trying to aim for like a Warframe kind of things. Because in Warframe, like almost all the Warframe has their own power and like weakness. There's no, there's no, oh, this Warframe is the best. Like, like there's no rarity difference between them. Everyone has their own role to fulfill and their own strong and their own weaknesses.
能够获得一个马尔杰、一个奥特赛德和一个达芙涅。
另外，大家喜欢的奇珠萝莉、松露与贞子，只要完成活动的话，这个宝宝大作战的活动就可以轻松去获得30个松露与贞子的角色碎片奖励。到时候在游戏里面，大家就是人手一只猪，实现骑猪自由。
那么除了松露与贞子以外呢，我们这边还有这个公测版本新增的一个
Patience, petulance. Is this the name of the elements?
一个全新的角色丽兹贝尔。那么在弱钩玩法迷津中，只要通关
And also like the example of like the gacha DNA not leaving this game entirely is like the fact that we have to redeem codes. I think. Because I think Warframe does not do that. I think Warframe shares you codes that like it's more like kind of like a random drop that people can get randomly by chatting on stream instead of like, oh yeah, every time you watch, we give you this set amount of like resources, which is more of like a gacha game thing, I think, or at least for me. I don't know. I don't really watch Warframe like live streams as much, and I don't really pay attention. I don't really care about the whole like resources thing, at least on Warframe, because it's more like a roulette, right? So it doesn't mean you always get them. So I just watch because I'm interested in what's coming, most of the time.
关难度3就可以获得30个丽兹贝尔碎片和一些丽兹贝尔的角色密函。那通关所有的这个我们迷津的难度呢，总共可以获得60个丽兹贝尔的角色碎片。
Here's the thing: how much shards do you need to get a character though? 20, 30? The way they're doing the numbers so far, I'm assuming 30 is how you get like one character costs 30 shards. So 60 list bell means you're gonna get like 2 copies of list bell, I'm assuming.
以及大量的这个丽兹贝尔角色密函。
那这里我们确实要重点介绍一下我们的新朋友了。那丽兹贝尔呢，其实在公测版本当中，它是首次登场的。那丽兹贝尔的身份设定，她其实是一位有神职身份、极具正义感、脾气也非常大的小姑娘。那她其实有一头粉头发，个子也小小的，但日常的爱好呢是锻炼身体。看她这个在做展示动作、做俯卧撑的时候，还是挺可爱的。
那我们说完这个赠送的这些角色，其实我们还准备了很多的游戏内活动，还有奖励资源。首先是为了庆祝这个2重螺旋顺利公测游戏内呢会开启常驻活动丰饶赞美诗，登录就可以直接领取10个纯白沙漏。然后在常驻活动远航巡礼中提升历练等级，完成全部等级任务。
I don't think this is something like a hitting goal or everything. I feel like this is like the kind of things you would get on every time you start a new game, a new live service game at least, like a beginner event and shit.
总共可以获得20个纯白沙漏，然后160个委托密函线索、烤肉动作以及武器弧光百劫，完成。
So what is pristine hourglass? Is that like the gacha, like the gacha one?
签到任务置花期可以领取10个华彩沙漏。
Prismatic.
后面随着
So pristine, I'm assuming would be the standard like currencies, and prismatic would be the limited currencies.
菲娜加入呢，也会同期开启新的这个签到任务夜莺来信，届时也能够领取10个华彩沙漏。接下来的话是公测版本中的一些限时活动内容。然后在11月3号，我们会开启限时活动文明博弈，完成每日任务就可以获得角角积分，更多的角角积分能够提升奖励内容。同时完成挑战博弈中的任务，可以获得大量委托密函线索、移转模块以及养成材料的奖励。随着菲娜加入，我们会开启全新限时活动夜莺飞往彩色的梦。 与菲娜一起呢，完成4个不同的关卡，使用绘梦颜料为童话世界上色，让故事发生。完成现实任务可以获得大量的委托密函线索以及深红凝珠。然后12月8日起，限时活动。
Oh my god! Damn, she's hot.
异乡来客会开放。那么我们在后续前往这个新的区域之前，会有一位神秘的新朋友需要我们的帮忙。那么完成他发布的一些各类委托任务就可以获得丰厚的奖励。那公测期间呢，我们还会开放公测下载限时有奖活动，完成任务就可以参与抽取现金和游戏周边道具奖励。
不错不错，这么多活动和奖励，大家记得准时来参加哦。
如果是刚打开直播的玩家呢，也不用担心，今天直播结束后呢，我们会将汇总前面提到的版本以及活动的详细内容呢。 会发布在各个社媒平台，方便大家随时查看。
除了刚刚介绍的版本内容，还有活动，我们对场景和角色的美术表现、UI 视觉，还有交互都进行了持续的迭代。可以看到场景的光影表现，相比较之前测试的版本更加丰富细腻了。可以看到场景的光影表现，相比较之前测试的版本更加丰富细腻了。环境中增加了雪花飘落的效果，游戏画面也更加的通透明亮。此外，可以看到场景表现、UI 视觉。
UI visual interactions, so they're adding
可以看到场景的光影表现，相比较之前测试的版本更加丰富细腻。
Okay, yeah.
环境中增加了
Is this just the lighting difference?
雪花飘落的效果，游戏画面也更加的通透明亮。
此外，在公测版本中呢，我们也加入了这个钩锁和疾跑的功能，那么大大的去提升大家的跑步的效率。
不过画面其实越好就越吃设备。 在优化这一块，大雄老师，我们目前是有什么计划吗？
目前首先呢，就是公测版本，其实我们支持了英伟达的 DLSS 4的多帧生成技术。那根据实际的显卡设备，最多可以支持开启这个4倍插帧，提升游戏的运行效率，可以让这个硬件性能能得到更好的发挥。那所以呢，功能开启之后，在游戏同等画面表现下呢，运行的流畅程度将会有更好的提升。
Wow. At late.
Wait, I can't believe we missed that.
明亮，在优化这一块，大雄老师，我们目前是有什么计划吗？
目前首先呢，就是公测版本，其实我们支持了英伟达
DLSS 4. I mean,
SS 4的。
You should not be putting these two exact texts on the same fucking thing. DLSS 4 does not exist in mobile, so you shouldn't be putting it here.
多帧生成技术。
Also, RTX on, bro. What the fuck you want? Like phones cannot do ray tracing, bro.
根据实际的显卡设备，最多可以支持开启这个4倍插帧，提升游戏的运行效率，可以让这个硬件性能能得到更好的发挥。那所以呢，功能
And you can kind of tell this is definitely like copying Warframe because the boss does not even attack after getting hit this much.
开启之后，在游戏同等画面表现下呢，运行的流畅程度将会有更好的提升。
Yeah, that is not mobile ready performance. DLSS 4 is not a mobile feature.
Atlasia looks
20 limited pulse, 35 on permanent pulse. So this is basically all the rewards you can get from the 1.0. That's interesting. That's quite a lot actually. 50 free pulse, 55 free pulse, plus the fact that you can grind them freely down the line. Interesting.
completely renewed. I can't wait to start the adventure. Psyche, look. These generous rewards. Are they gifts for us? Yes, Fox Hunter. Beyond in-game events, Duet Night Abyss is also rolling out off-game activities. Pre-download.
Definitely typical of like gacha games, where they would like do like event out of game event. Like games like typical other like non-gacha games usually does not do this. So they definitely trying to toe the line between a typical like gacha live service and like a normal live service games.
It opens at 10 a.m. on October 26th. You can search Duet Night Abyss on our official site, the App Store, Google Play, and the Epic Games Store to download early.
Besides pre-download,
Google Play
Wait, not Steam?
and the Pre-Night Abyss on our official site, the App Store, Google Play,
Why
and
not
the
on
Epic
Steam? I don't get it. What's with this obsession of like going to Epic Games first and then Steam later?
Games Store to download early.
besides pre-download, we will be launching a new merchandise program. A collaboration with Good Smile is in active preparation. Details remain under wraps for all Fox Hunters for now, but you'll see it soon.
Duet Night Abyss also owes thanks to creators. For those who love and support our game, we have partnered with TikTok to launch a creator incentive
TikTok.
program to thank those who keep making content for us. We really look forward to your work. Then, next, Quiet Fox Hunter. Look. In a faraway land, there once was a realm whose people wove a magic of lasting peace. And from that peace arose guardians who vowed to protect them all.
Be still for a moment. I shall cleanse you of every trace of this foul corruption.
I remain to atone for those I failed to protect.
Damn. I love these two already. The pure healing kind of character, like lady, and the freaking macho, cool ass, like dark, monstrous, like dragon guy. It is dragons, dark tails. Hell yeah. This is like some wuxia shit out of here.
When the gods turned their gaze away from the mortal world, the magic of peace began to falter.
I bow to neither gods nor heaven.
I mean, the way the song plays so far, that's definitely like Chinese games. Like definitely like Chinese wuxia stuff.
I trust only the sword in my hand.
And also there's the freaking the characters that would always be drunk. The inventor character.
The tokens of fate have been cast.
I thought, oh, I think this is the new area. This is gonna be the next region. Interesting. That is quite a shift. So early on, we went from Western civilization straight up to like Chinese, like Asian civilization.
Gods are fated to fall.
This kind of gives me a whole Genshin vibe, right? Where like you start off in Mondstadt, which is like definitely like based on like this, like inspired by like Western civilization, like old Western civilization, and then you moved on to Liyue, which is like a very like Chinese Asian team business city of sort, like big city, right? So you went from a small town, a small Western town, to like a big Asian city. I think like screams a lot of like Genshin 1.0 in a way. And especially with the color, like the way the color works. Like this is straight up like Zhongli if he's a girl. A mix of Zhongli and Ningguang, right?
Merely pieces upon the board.
That's where the story ends. I wonder, will the little bird break free from the shackles of fate and fly beyond the edge of her tail? Did we just catch a teaser for version 1.1? Huashu sits on the far east of Atlasia, right? Yeah.
Far east, Huashu. We can already see it. Asian bamboos. Also, that's a big ass update in my opinion, because like I think for the well, I guess in a way, the Genshin first release with Mondstadt and Liyue, right? And I think basically what they're doing here is that they release the Mondstadt first, and then they release the Liyue after as a 1.1, which is, I guess, it's an interesting way to like kind of like segregate or like slow down players like progression. and to kind of quote unquote stretch out the content. I'm assuming like they had to put a lot of like their efforts and like their manpower into like tweaking the monetization when they decided to pivot from the fully gacha system. And that's why they decided to like delay the second region. So I'm assuming like their base plan before was to have them released at the same time with both region, kind of like what they did in Genshin, except Genshin did not have a last minute pivot like they did, you know, a couple months ago. So I guess they had to delay that Huashu region to both stretch the content and save them some time.
Here, you will experience a style completely different to the Hyperborean Empire. The art team blends Eastern architecture with the game's fantasy tone to create Huashu's signature scenery. As the story advances, many new characters arrive, and their looks and stories carry rich Eastern elements.
Wow! Now I cannot wait! Reminder, Duet Night Abyss servers open at 10 AM, October 28th, Beijing time, on Android, iOS, Epic, and more platforms.
Epic and more platforms. The fact that they did not even mention Steam. I guess somehow Epic is in this whole sponsor thing, I'm guessing. I'm assuming Epic is paying them some money. Because the fact that they did not mention Steam, which is like, you know, arguably where a lot of like serious player, like for example something like Warframe, right? I think a lot of people play Warframe from Steam because back then it's not cross platform compatible. So the fact that they did not even mention Steam and use more platforms instead, I'm assuming Epic is giving them some money to do so. Like I think Epic is at least sponsoring them or investing some money in them, which is a shame. Well, no, not a shame in terms of like the money for them. It's a shame that like they had to go this route to begin with. When, like, personally speaking, from my experience, Epic is unfortunately still a subpar, like, platform in terms of, like, story experience, at least, like, app experience, compared to, like, something like Steam. And, like, I think what I really hate the most is the fact that they keep asking me to link the freaking Epic account when I'm playing my game on other platform like Steam. Like, if I say I don't want to do so, just let me be.
For the global release, we will ship multiple languages at launch, supporting Japanese, traditional Chinese, and Korean, along with simplified Chinese and English. More languages will follow based on feedback.
Alright, the stream is nearing its end. Duet Night Abyss is finally about to meet you all.
We've been waiting a long time.
Oh.
From day one, your voices have guided Duet Night Abyss. Your support fuels our improvements, and even the big pricing changes came from listening and acting on your feedback. After the global launch, we will stay by your side. Every issue you encounter matters to us. Whether you find delight or confusion in the game, please tell us.
We'll have to see. I really hope that they're not trying to casualize the experience so much, because I think part of like the beauty of Warframe is that, like, you know, the game doesn't have to be super complicated, but I think the game requires you to put some effort. The game does not just give you everything freely. You actually have to work for it. I think that's like kind of the beauty of it. And like since they're starting off as like they're still trying to blend this whole gacha mechanics and Warframe, right? And I'm kind of scared that like the whole philosophy of gacha game is that like the game has to be super friendly to casuals. You cannot make events too hard. You cannot make things too difficult or too complicated. And I am really scared that they would end up watering down the Warframe experience too much, which would defeat the whole point of playing Warframe. Because if Warframe is too simple, then, like, you know, I can be playing other games that actually rewards my understanding of the game, right?
The game still needs work, and some parts need time. Starting today, we commit more people and resources to move faster and build a world that plays smoothly, stays fun, and earns your trust. We hope every Fox Hunter enjoys steady updates and an endless stream of joy here. Thanks
And
for
a
all the
stream of
support.
joy here.
We will close with messages from the producer and our VAs. Goodbye for now, Fox Hunters. See you soon.
Wait, you forgot to mention that Duet Night Abyss pre-download opens at 10 a.m. October 26th, Beijing time. Also, our official community, Lunoloft, is live. You can search and share guides and news there to keep up with the latest updates.
This time we really are ending, right? We will wrap up with warm wishes from producer Deca Bear and our voice actors. Bye. Bye-bye.
Woohoo! Great job, everyone.
Yeah, congratulations. Yay. Let's get a drink. Woo.
Hello, Fox Center. I'm Deca Bear. 希望刚才的特别节目能够让大家对公测 1.0
I
版本
thought he actually gonna start speaking English, but I guess not.
更加充满期待。真心感谢每一位受阅人在这一路上的陪伴，和我们一起见证二重螺旋一步步变得更好。10月28日就要全球正式上线了，还没有预约的小伙伴快行动起来吧！超多内容等你来探索，全角色武器免费，丰厚福利，一起开启这场冒险吧 ！Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support. DNA 1028. Oh, 1028. Let me copy the code real quick for you all. And we're done.
Even though fate seems determined to keep her grounded. But who knows? Maybe your journey will bring a glimpse of that world to her.
So we got all the showcase for the newest coming characters.
Payment. Hi, Fox Hunters. I'm Jess Nesling, the voice behind Lynn in Duet Night Abyss. Lynn's got that wage slave meets tough gal vibe.
Wow. You know what? You know, just that one line, that's one line description just screams like Zani to me. Except that like she seems less like a wage slave and more like a bounty hunter.
As the big sister of the family, she's always on the move, taking whatever job pays the bills.
I wonder if this is like the Chinese game influence where they're always trying to make it like more family friendly.
Fear not. The misty sea does not reach this place.
It's over with and go home.
We're gonna play all of them at least once before we end the showcase.
Ending adventure. Appointed commissary of the Elysian. I'm Lizzie Waterworth, the voice behind.
She'll always be. It's over with.
I'm Lizzie Waterworth, the voice behind Truffle and Filbert in Duet Night Abyss. She may be tiny, but don't let that fool you. Truffle is an officially appointed
Why is she not speaking in the Truffle's voice?
commissary of
Or
the
is she gonna
Elysian
sound like
Church.
this?
With her ever-reliable partner Filbert leading the way, she scours fields and forests, always bringing back enough food to keep everyone well-fed and happy. Duet Night Abyss is launching soon, so why not join Truffle and Filbert on their next big food-finding adventure?
What a romantic encounter.
Ooh. Montserrat Lomba.
Was this the god of love's work?
Oh, I love the diversity in the accents.
Duet Night Abyss. As a Legion chief, Sybil has no patience for weakness.
Whoa! We got the Devora Wildy.
Nor
Wildy.
mercy for those who dare stand in her way.
Dream in his heart remains unbroken. His unwavering perseverance, his devotion to all he holds dear.
This sounds kind of like Cristoforo for some reason.
It is a tragedy, as much as it is a thing of beauty.
Which is kind of funny because the character that he's playing right now is kind of like Cristoforo too.
Outsider knows Ice Lake like the back of his hand. Scars and bandages, just part of the job.
Routines of daily life, she gives it her all. Duet Night Abyss is launching.
Remember, relaxation is a necessity, not a luxury.
Oh no, he got that vibe of like the carefree freaking prodigy.
Oh, what a fine collection you have!
That's a lot of characters considering that they're just releasing. Ooh, this character got like 2 versions? No.
Big heist. The game's launching soon, so better watch your pockets. Hey, let me fight with you. I'm bored stiff and my tentacles need to stretch out.
Oh.
Ready for the interrogation? Hello, Fox Hunters. I'm Gabrielle Nellis Payne, the voice behind Hellfire in Duet Night Abyss.
Okay.
Hunters, I'm Fern Deacon, the voice behind Daphne in Duet Night Abyss.
Hey Fox Hunters, I'm Claire Morgan, bringing both Yale and Oliver to life in Duet Night Abyss.
Yale and what the hell is Oliver?
Across a timid, soft-spoken
This
boy
thing?
in Scarlet River, don't be startled by his talking bomb.
Oh,
That's
he's
just
talking bomb, so this one.
Oliver grumbling.
Wait, this is a guy? Oh. I should have known. Yale and Oliver.
Duet Night Abyss is about to launch, and
I've asked myself that question countless times.
Hello, Fox Hunters. I'm Emma Ballantyne, the voice
Emma Ballantyne. Ooh, that's a cool name.
of the female protagonist in Duet Night Abyss.
Hello.
So I was right. Based on this picture, I was right. This is the dual protagonist is gonna be like this: the fox hunter and the boy, the fox hunter and the boy in the dream. So it's gonna be like you're gonna be playing the same gender for like the different characters instead of like cross gender. Stuart Clark.
Fox Hunters, I'm Stuart Clark, the voice of the male protagonist in Duet Night Abyss. As the stories of these dual protagonists unfold, so too will the world evolve in ways you may not expect.
I like
Duet
the
Night Abyss
male
is
voice
launching
actor.
soon across all platforms. May this journey lead you to growth and new discoveries. It doesn't end here. Hello, Fox Hunter.
That voice whispered through the wind.
No, I can see it. Your future, our future. It doesn't end here.
I like the voice, but I don't know if it fits the character. It sounds a bit older than he's supposed to be. I feel like, at least from this impression right now.
Let us journey side by side, if only for a while.
Ooh, she got that thick Asian accent, even though she's speaking perfect
Greetings.
English.
I'm Crystal Yu, the
You can definitely tell she's Asian by the way she voice.
Tops and the magical golden river flow to
That's a lot of characters already.
Countess, I'm Kwanalor Masterson, the voice behind Zhiliu in Duet Night Abyss.
The fact that she can speak that name like fluently means she knows Asian language at least. I mean, with the name Loi, I'm assuming like she's also Asian. But the fact that they already have all these characters already, I think it's kind of proving my theory that like this is supposed to be part of the 1.0 update, but they had to shift things around to adapt with like the pivot that they're doing with the monetizations.
You've already heard of my title, Princess Rubbish Bin. Oh. Hey there, Fox Hunters. I'm Karina Reeves, the voice behind Margie in Duet Night Abyss. Trust me, Margie knows every single.
Oh no, Rubbish Man in the ice like at the back of her hand. She sounds like the Trailblazer. But I think based on all of this, that's it. That's the end of the live stream. Wow, it takes a long time. It takes almost 2 hours for me to finish through this whole thing. But I think that's all from my reaction. Overall, it's been leaving a good impression. It does not really answer some of the questions I have in mind. Like, but I guess it's a good enough preview. I want to say, like, again, it's not answering my full question. Like, is it going to be a global server, or is the progression going to be limited to each region, just like every other gacha game works? Because, like, so far, every time I'm seeing that this game is diverting away from like the gacha, the typical gacha game design, they always seems to include the parts where it kind of be like it screams a lot of like, this is still a gacha game, right? So at the end, I couldn't really fully conclude whether this game is gonna be doing more of a Warframe kind of like design, or if they're gonna be doing more of like a gacha game design. They're really trying hard to toe the line, the in-between line of the two games. But I really hope it's cross progression. That way I don't have to make multiple accounts. I do have friends across the globe that I really want to be playing with without having multiple accounts. But considering it's the starting point of this game being a gacha game, I kind of doubt they would have cross-region progression. But you know, they can always prove me wrong when they do release a game tomorrow, tomorrow night, Monday night for Western Hemisphere, and Tuesday morning for the Eastern Hemisphere. Yeah, I am looking forward to this game. The premise of the story so far is a bit cliche. I'm not gonna say whether it's gonna be bad or good. You know, I don't have enough experience from the game, like from playing the open beta, to like kind of like make any conclusion so far. But it's interesting enough that I would be willing to give it a try, especially the fact that the character is technically not an outsider of the world. You know, they have like this like childhood friend with them, and they also the fact that they're trying, like they're definitely like promoting this whole dual protagonist storyline. So I am looking forward to experiencing the game. I'm looking forward to see whether the grind is anything like if the grind is fairly polished and balanced. I am looking forward to see how much influence they have taken from Warframe and whether they implement it well. And I'm looking how much influence does the gacha system still holds its grasp in the game. Because again, I said earlier, right, they're trying to toe the line, so I want to see the actual I want to say the actual fusion between them. Like, is it like a 60-40, a 50-50? Because so far the way they describe it is like whenever they always try to counterbalance it, where they would introduce a design that is not available on gacha games, right? For example, like the colored skin, like the coloring feature. But then they would but then before they introduce that that feature, they introduce you a gacha skin feature, right? Like where you can get the skin, like the skin from gacha, I think. Which is just straight up like, you know, this is a mechanic from like a more typical gacha game. But then they introduced the Warframe, and then they would introduce like, oh, you know, you can get the characters from grinding, but also you can get them, like, you know, a balance between the gacha system and the like the pay, like one-time payment kind of like stores. So I'm looking forward to experience the game personally. But yeah, I think that's enough for the reaction, and also I think that's enough for the stream tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Whether you guys lurking, chatting, playing with me, I appreciate you all, and I hope I'll see you guys again on my next stream, whenever that is. But without further ado, I shall bid you adieu.